Hello again, INFJs and Autistic INFJs. Today we're going to talk about finding lasting confidence. This was like a lifelong mission of mine. I wanted to find that confidence that I seen other people have. They had it like all the time. And if I had confidence, which was very seldom, it would last for a smidgen of time, not enough time for me to get anything done that I wanted to do. And then it was gone. So I was like, what the heck? How do they get lasting confidence? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? I want that confidence because there was a lot that I wanted to do in life. So I'm going to share with you my thoughts around it that work really well for me. It's going to be interesting. Welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm glad you found it. My name's Trina. I'm a INFJ and I'm also autistic. I started this channel with hopes of helping other people like myself, INFJs and Autistic INFJs, feel seen, heard, understood, and less alone, because that would have made a huge difference with me years ago when I started working on myself, because I was tired of feeling like there was something drastically wrong with me and what is going on. So that's what I did. So welcome to my channel. I hope you find it helpful. If you're returning, I'm glad you came back. I'm grateful for everybody. All right, before we get going, I do want to share with you, I know I've been sharing this a lot, but I'm very excited about it. If you've got a desire to connect with other INFJs, if you want to meet up with some, get to know them, talk about life as an INFJ or autistic INFJ, and feel like you really belong somewhere, I've started a connection circle. It's called Heart and Mind INFJ Connection Circle. Registration is open for October. Everything you need to know is in the link in the description of this video. So go ahead and click on the link if you want to find out more. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I get really nervous when I mention stuff like this, like I'm advertising to you or something, but I'm really excited about it. So I had to share it with you. All right, so let's dive into this. Do you struggle with confidence? I'd love to know. If you're willing to put it in the chat, put it in the chat. If you struggle with confidence, if you find that you kind of have it and then you don't and it's gone. Well, when I first started working on myself, I had zero confidence. It didn't really come in waves. I didn't have any, but I also didn't have any self-worth, self-belief, anything like that. None of it. It was all like a big zero. And I really wanted to have it. I really wanted to have the confidence so that I could like go after those promotions and have a fulfilling career and meet somebody amazing. And I just wanted to be, and this is actually kind of funny because I don't like attention on myself at all. I don't like being noticed, but I wanted to be that woman that would walk in a room that would turn heads, that people would notice and be like, wow, she's confident. Look at how she carries herself, right? Instead of me being that one that would walk in the room with my head down, but oh, I hope nobody sees me, and like go sit in the black corner where everyone would forget that I'm even alive and people would notice, oh, she's definitely not confident. We're not going to ask her to do anything or offer her an opportunity. Anyway, that was my thought on it. I had heard many times that if we want things to change in our life, we needed to do something different, change, which is great advice, except for when you're lacking confidence. It's not really good advice because you need confidence to change. Change is scary, especially for an INFJ, Autistic INFJ. Change is very scary. We don't like change, but it's true. You do have to step out of that comfort zone if you want things to change for you to get better. In order to do that, we need that confidence. Now, for me, and I really believe that a lot of you, if you're like in my age group, like we'll say 40 and up, you probably really struggle with the confidence because of our childhood. Growing up in school, they definitely did not understand, especially if you're autistic. When we were in school, nobody understood it. So they did the best. I like to believe that teachers did the best they knew how to do at the time, but they really didn't know what to do with us. So quite often, like for me, my experience is I was singled out lots because I learned very differently than other people. Not so much now. I've worked in the school system and now they really cater to different styles of learning, which I love. I mean, in my son's school system, maybe not all over the place, but here I'm very grateful that they do that. So I would have excelled there because there's lots of different styles of learning. They're okay with that. But back when we were in school, as my son would say, you mean like the olden days? Yes, however, the olden days. When we were in school, it wasn't like that. There was one way to learn and that was it. And if you couldn't learn that way, you were singled out and you were put into a special classroom with other mentally challenged children. Back then, that's not what it was called. I'm not going to say what it was called because it's really frowned upon to say it. But anyway, I had like the lowest marks in school. I was a target for bullies, and being singled out added to all of that. I didn't have to have the lowest marks in school. However, when you're singled out and you're actually treated quite poorly by teachers and basically told you're stupid, and then lots of the people around you that are supposed to love you kind of follow suit with that and treat you like basically you're a moron, it really hacks on your confidence, right? You end up with none. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention is when I did try something and I did succeed with it, people were like shocked. It was like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Now, if you're watching this and you're not an INFJ and you're not autistic, please, for the love of everything amazing in life, don't do that to somebody. I mean, I'm not saying don't say, hey, good job, or acknowledge that they did it, but don't be like the shocked, like, oh, I can't believe you did that. That's amazing. That makes us feel really bad. When people do that, it makes us feel really, really bad and embarrassed and feels like we did something very, very wrong, that we shouldn't have been able to accomplish this. So I know that intentions are positive when people do that. Be all shocked. I know that they're coming from a place of love and kindness and encouragement, but it's actually the opposite. So please don't do that to somebody because it's not cool. Acknowledge it. Say, hey, yeah, you know what? I knew you could do that. I knew you could do that. Good job. Completely changes the whole dynamic of it. Be like, yeah, I could do that. Anyway, back on topic. I just had to say that because that's my rant. And I really hate it when people do that. Even to me to this day, when somebody says that to me, like I get messages from people that have known me my entire life and they're like, oh, I can't believe you have a YouTube channel and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, keep going. I'm not even going to respond to that. This is cruel. I know that it's not supposed to be, but it is. Anyway, okay. So where was I? Oh yes, talking about school and how we were singled out. And then in our family life, many INFJs and autistic INFJs had like super critical parents or narcissistic parents. We weren't allowed to have confidence. So this all plays a part in it, right? And all the bullying that we had and being singled out, it all hacks on it. So confidence for us is like zero for most of us, and we really, really want it. Now, for me, what really, really helped me when I started working on myself, what helped me was understanding confidence. I thought it was something that people had, that you just had, and once you had it, you always had it. But confidence doesn't work that way. And I had to understand this because once I understood it, I could be more compassionate with myself and be like, oh, I do have confidence. Confidence it comes in waves for everybody. Everybody, even the most confident person that you work with in your workplace and you think, no, they've got confidence all the time. They don't. Ask them. Go into their office or whatever when it's just you and them. Ask them, are you always confident? Like, honestly, if they say yes, they're lying to you, by the way. Confidence comes in waves. Nobody has it all the time. What we need to do is push through those moments when we don't have confidence, knowing that when we push through, our confidence is going to wave back in again and we can keep going. This was huge. When I realized this, I was watching actually my cousin. She also is an influencer on social media. And I was watching a live that she does over on Facebook. This was years ago. And she mentioned this, that it comes in waves, because I used to think of her as the most confident person ever. And she said, like, I don't have confidence all the time. In fact, there's lots of times I don't have it. But do I let it slow me down? No, I push through it. And that was like a bell went off in my head. And I'm like, oh, well, mine comes in waves. Maybe it's supposed to. Well, it is. That's what confidence is. It's in waves, right? And we push through it. Now, do things still scare me? Heck yeah. All the time. I'm an INFJ. I'm autistic. I am terrified of being judged, of being criticized. Do I allow it to control me? Do I allow it to slow me down? Sometimes. Sometimes I have to step back and do a little bit of work on myself. I'm not going to lie. Of course I do. I have to step back and do some work on myself. Do I let it stop me? No. No, it might slow me down because I might have to do a little bit of work on myself, unpacking a few things, saying, hey, what's going on? And then all of a sudden the confidence comes and I can keep going. It comes in waves. Essentially, we create our own reality, right? When we think, I have no confidence. This, and that happened, and people always told me that I couldn't do things. This wasn't for me. People like me can't do this. Like, I just can't do stuff like this. Well, those are all lies, for one. Don't believe them. I know that's easier said than done. It takes work. Have compassion. It will come. Just keep telling yourself that's not true, what they said about me. And we create our own reality. What I mean by that is that we can choose to believe all those stories and stay without confidence if we want to. Or we can choose to be like, no, you know what? Those stories, they're not true. Everything that happened to me, yeah, it happened. It was an experience. What did I learn from it? Let's move on. Grab that confidence when it waves by and let's keep going. That's really what it boils down to. So yeah, I mean, confidence comes in waves. It's not something that we have that's going to last forever. It comes in waves. And the more times we grab onto those waves and ride those waves out, the more waves come through because it doesn't slow us down and we start seeing progress. Like, oh, I made progress on whatever it is that you're working on. And that starts building our confidence even more and motivates us. And it starts building our self-worth and our self-esteem and our self-belief. And this all plays a part into those waves of confidence. So when the waves come through, they're even bigger and they're easier to catch onto and ride and will take us further. But it all takes a little bit of time and a little bit of work, and self-compassion is something that we need. I hope this was helpful. If it was, I invite you to like my video, give it the thumbs up. I also invite you to share this. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs I can help, or we can help together, and that's really what it's all about. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do that. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you real soon with another video. Bye for now.